Hey, I'm live. Sorry, I was adjusting the the camera here, adjusting the laptop so that the camera faces me properly. Uh, sorry, I'm going to be coughing a little bit here in West Michigan. The pollen count is just through the roof for the last week. I haven't been feeling well. I was really almost out for the count last Friday. Got a cup of coffee with me here. It's about 10 to 7 in the evening. I always like to have a beverage when I'm doing this. So anyway, username 241156can, all one word. This person and I discussed Gord on my last video, which was on the anniversary of Gord's passing earlier this month. I haven't been able to do a video since. Things have been very hectic. Not even going to get into it. Not worth it. So anywho, we talked about picking a top 2 or 3 favorite Gord songs, and I said something about maybe picking a top 10, and that might be the best I could do. So here we are. I gave myself a caveat, though, a restriction. There are 6 songs not allowed to be picked because they're everybody's favorites. Everybody knows them. And so I wanted to do my top 10. Sundown, Carefree Highway, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, If You Could Read My Mind, Canadian Railroad Trilogy, and Early Morning Rain. Those are all, everyone's a classic. To me, every song I'm going to mention is a classic. Every Gord song is a classic. Every album should have been number one. I chose to go with songs that aren't the huge hits. They're favorites of mine. But I thought, let's make this interesting. Let's dig a little deeper. Some of these will not be a surprise. Some are fairly well known, but they're not as big as Sundown or Edmund Fitzgerald. So I'm going to go in chronological order because trying to put them in order from 10 to 1, nope, I couldn't do it. I fidgeted around too much. So that said, and see, I actually have this written down so I don't forget. I haven't used notes in a while, but it's been a long day. So anywho, first in order, not necessarily favorite or least, just first chronologically. The glare on that's bad. Song for a Winter's Night. This is Gord's sophomore record. The way I feel, the amount of great songs on here is ridiculous. Canadian Railroad Trilogy is on here, but again, that's and the title track, The Way I Feel, which was a re-record from his self-titled debut just the year before. To come out of the gate swinging as strong as Gord did was unfair almost to the other talent around. But anyway, so Canadian a Song for a Winter's Night was written in an apartment, I think in Cleveland or Detroit. I'm not sure. See, I pronounce it the way Gord would while I'm on here. In July. And so, but even the hot Midwest weather couldn't keep Gord from writing one of the most beautiful, elegant songs to describe a Canadian, Midwest or Canadian winter evening that you could possibly imagine. It's just a beautiful song. So that's number one. Numbers 2 and 3 come from the same record. It's a 1-2 punch on here from the Don Quixote record. It's tracks, and I know people get annoyed with me sometimes. I keep the rap on these. Christian Island, in parentheses, Georgian Bay, and Alberta Bound. Now, those are 2 opposite numbers, really. Christian Bay is a very reflective number about a specific geographical place, but it's a sweet song. It's reminiscent. It brings you back to your youth, sailing on the lake and just enjoying nature. Alberta Bound, very up tempo, not quite as happy as one would think based on the music itself. It's about a lost young man getting the heck out of Toronto and headed west back to the people he loves and hopefully the woman he loves too. And it could be the woman that scorned him in the big city. So anyway, numbers 2 and 3 off Don Quixote are Alberta Bound and Christian Island, Georgian Bay. Number 4 chronologically is the title track to Old Dan's Records, which was a play on words on Old Dance Records. It talks about the old 78s, the old shellac songs, the old songs on shellac. when you used to have to wind up the Victrola, and talks about old Uncle Dan or old Dan being up on the mantle. So clearly, old Dan is deceased, and they're spinning his records, but they're kind of cutting a rug, having a good time, and it's just a fun song, in a slightly morbid kind of way, I must admit. But anyway, number 4 chronologically, the title track, Old Dan's Records, or Old Dance Records, as Gord did a play on words with. Sorry, got to keep the throat lubed here. Number 5. I was never really aware of this song too much until I had the opportunity to see Gord in September of 2022. I talked so much about that show, but it's because it was a life-changing event, and it ended up being Gord's final tour. And I spoke about it in the last video. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he did a couple of album tracks that I had never really paid a whole lot of attention to. And after seeing them live, instantly skyrocketed in my estimation. Not that I ever disliked them, but this one, the Watchman's Gone from Sundown. It's a song. If you can Google it, Gord actually explained the meaning of it. Out on the street washing the bullshit down. It's a song about alcoholism and dealing with drugs, not drugs, dealing with drink, and it's a very deep song, but I think it's a very fun song. It's kind of an epic one. The Watchman's Gone is just absolutely one of my favorites. It's almost whimsical musically, but it's such a strong, powerful number. And this is an album too that people got on me for not ranking higher in my Gord ranking series from a few years back. If I were to redo it, this might actually be higher. I've gone through a lot since ranking these, and I get this album a lot more than I ever did. All right. 2 more songs, back to back. This is my favorite record. If Gord had just come out and played the entire Cold on the Shoulder record and left, I'd have been happy. It's the 2 really introspective, beautiful songs on here. Another 1-2 punch off side 1. The Soul is the Rock and Bells of the Evening. They're soulful. They make my heart feel good when I listen to those songs. If I'm in a bad mood, they put me in a good mood. If I'm in a good mood, they put me in a better mood. Just the 2 really. Well, there's a couple more other sweet songs on here, but I think those are very introspective, very intellectual. They definitely tug at the heartstrings when you listen to them again and again, as I have. I can't even tell you how many times I have listened to this album over the years. So, that's numbers 6 and 7. And it's Bells of the Evening and The Soul is the Rock off Cold on the Shoulder. All right, number 8. This is the other one that I saw Gord perform that I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to. The lyrics are all over the place on this, and I love it. And it's not a very fun song, but it's a fun song. It's actually vicious in places. It's harsh in a way, and it's the closing song to the Summertime Dream record. Too Many Clues in This Room. And again, I seeing Gord do it live, even though he was well into his 80s, the power and intensity of that song struck me so much that I immediately began. I actually couldn't remember which album it came off of. I blanked that night. And I came home and I listened to that song, and it was just so stirring, so touching. But again, it's not for the faint of heart, that one, but Too Many Clues in This Room. Excellent song. It's my number 8 out of 10. And again, we're going chronologically, number 9 out of 10. You might laugh at this, maybe not, I don't know. But it's the title track to the 1983 record Salute. It's Gord's first fully sober record. You can see he lost a ton of weight. He was looking very much early 80s there. Played a lot of electric guitar on here. But Salute, in parentheses, a lot more living to do Um, it's a it's a song of renewal. It's a jubilant song, and again, if I'm feeling down, I can put this whole album on and feel good. And if I'm feeling good, I feel even better. But again, the title track, the opening number, just right out of the gate, upbeat, up tempo, very positive. And let's face it, Gord didn't have a boatload of super positive songs. None of them were Townes Van Zandt depressing, but very happy, upbeat song. I really like it. And so here we go, number 10. And this may surprise some people, but you got to be going in your head, well, there aren't that many more albums after that. And you're right. But it is track number 2 of his 2004 Harmony record. It's River of Light. That's just one of those eternal sounding songs. And the lyrics are so, oh my word. While I'm finding it, for those who know, this was based on a bunch of demos Gord did after he had his embolism, I believe it was, that almost killed him. His band put this together under his guidance while he was in the hospital. And so, heading off on a river at peace in the cool of an evening, heading off on a river of light, be a part of the river at night. Nice to be on a river sometimes, like a June bug traveling. Heading off on a ribbon of song, been away from the river too long. Good to be on a river somewhere, like a milkweed traveling. Heading off on a ribbon of dreams, be a part of a river it seems. Can you tell me how long must I travel on? Just the opening right there. It's so introspective and so deep, as so many of Gord's songs were. And it's a latter-day masterpiece for sure. And so there you have it. There's my top 10 Gord songs. Song for a Winter's Night, Christian Island, Georgian Bay, Alberta Bound, Old Dan's Records, The Watchman's Gone, The Soul is the Rock, Bells of the Evening, Too Many Clues in This Room, Salute, A Lot More Living to Do, and River of Light. And so that, again, thank you. Username 241156can. Thank you for inspiring this. I love doing videos. I haven't had a lot of time or, honestly, inclination. Life has been insane, man. Just a lot going on. So, anywho, if I don't think anybody watching this is a newbie to Gord, and this is a cute little package, a nice little package. If you are trying to introduce somebody to Gord and you want to give mostly the hits and songs that should have been, this was actually my introduction to Gord. The single CD, Complete Greatest Hits from 2002, I think it was. 2002. I'm not going to name all 20 songs on here, but this is a fantastic introduction to Gord's music for those who, if you're trying to introduce somebody to his songs. So anyway, cheers, everyone. In the comments below, let me know what your 10 favorite Gord songs are. As always, no fighting or arguing. We can have a healthy debate, and I love that sort of thing. I love talking music with you folks out there. It's one of my favorite things to do. So anyway, I appreciate your kind attention. I appreciate you following my page. Hit like, hit share, and let's all go spin some more Gord. So I hope everybody's all right. Take care of yourselves, and hopefully it won't be a few weeks again before we're in touch. Take care, everyone.